Action, but how will these overnight cues impact our own markets? We have research team joining us to tell you just that. What is the trade setup looking like, the stocks that are likely to be in the news, and the action from the F&O space as well. Hey guys, a very good morning to both of you. Reema, let me come across to you first up. Looks like it could be a down day for our own markets.
Indeed. So Asian markets around the globe have started off on a cautious note. It's a very big week for central banks, as you've been pointing out. The Bank of Japan meeting tomorrow. On Wednesday, you've got the Fed and the Bank of England. So ahead of that, there is a lot of caution. And plus on Friday, we had the US markets, ex of NASDAQ, slipping quite a bit. So the S&P 500 was down 1%. The Dow sold off close to about 0.4%. So there was that weakness that we had in the US markets on Friday's trade, which could carry forward in Monday's trade. That said, for the Indian markets, we did snap back that 6-day losing streak on Friday. So Friday was a bit of a rebound session for our markets, but we're going to get pegged back today. Some levels to watch. I'm going to keep my eye out on last week's lows and high. So the low on the Nifty was 18,837, while the high was 19,556. So those would be some broad markers to keep in mind as we begin trade. We'll talk more about it, but Indian markets have a lot of earnings to react to. So there's Reliance Industries, there's BPCL, and a whole host of other stocks. But this week itself, starting today, you've got DLF, TVS Motors, Marico, tomorrow Bharti Airtel, L&T, IOC, Tata Consumer. On Wednesday, you've got Sun Pharma, Tata Steel, Britannia. On 2nd, that's Thursday, you've got Tata Motors. And to cap it off, you've got State Bank of India on Friday. So it's a big week of earnings in terms of flows. The FI's net sold 1,500 crore in the cash market, while the DII's net bought 313 crore. Back to you.
Okay, all right. That's a long list of cues to watch out for. Thank you so much for that, Reema. United Phosphorus also reports numbers today, so we'll keep an eye on that one as well. But for all the other stocks, that'll be on our radar today. Surbhi is joining us now. Hey, Surbhi, morning.
Good morning. So a lot of earnings that we'll be reacting to. The first one is, of course, Reliance Industries. Earnings were better than expected. Revenue was up 12% sequentially. EBITDA up 7.5% sequentially. Margins at 17.7% versus 18.3%. Dr. Reddy's revenues were up 9% on a year-on-year basis. Margins came in at 32% versus 31%. M&M Financial, it was a miss on the earnings led by a 9-quarter low net interest margin. Net interest income was up 8.5% year-on-year. Net interest margin was down 100 basis points on a year-on-year basis. SBI Cards, the net interest margins were at an all-time low, and the credit cost continues to remain elevated. Credit cost came in at 6.7%, net interest margin at 11.3%. NTPC, the revenue was down 0.3%, EBITDA was up 15%, and margins came in at 26% versus 22% same time last year. BEL, the revenues were up 1%, but EBITDA was up 17% and margin expansion of 340 basis points over there. MGL, revenue was up 2% sequentially, EBITDA was down 8% sequentially, and margins at 31%. And some other companies that may react to numbers: Route Mobile, BPCL, Intellect Design, GE Shipping, and Piramal Pharma.
Okay, as we've been saying, we're in the thick of earnings season, so of course a lot of them that we are tracking closely as well. But a lot of action from the F&O space as well. Nigel is joining us now. Hey, morning, Nigel.
Well, morning, Sonal. On Friday's trading session, the much-awaited relief rally did come about. Was it a flash in the pan, or will it be more lasting? Well, we'll know today as well as tomorrow. Now, it was good to see the Nifty bounce back. It was heartening to see that even the broader markets did see a bit of a rally. So the mid-cap and the small-cap indices, they participated in style after seeing consecutive days of losing. What did the FIs do? One would have thought maybe they covered some shorts, but actually they didn't. They continue to hold onto their short positions, and the short positioning remains elevated at around 88%. As we made this point even on Friday, with FIs being net short very, very aggressively or being overtly net short, that may not be such a bad thing, because if the markets can sustain or maybe move up a little bit, then in fact we could see a bit of a bounce that plays out. What do they do on the option side? They bought calls as well as puts, so no big reading coming out of them. But on the writing side, they wrote more puts than calls, and that was heartening to see, because in an uptrending market, you want to see put writing. And the 19,000 put, well, that was fairly active in Friday's trading session. The premium out there, well, it ended closer to around that 81 rupees odd, but at some point of the day, it was closer to around 200 rupees. So going by that sort of writing that was seen at the 19,000 put, and on the upside, the 19,200 call was the most active strike. So you plug in the premium, 50 rupees premium, add it to around the 19,200 odd mark, you get your resistance level of around 19,250. While on the downside, the recent low, that's around 18,830, that becomes a bit of a support zone. For starters, I think the gift Nifty was suggesting we pull back a little bit to kickstart trade. Let's see how this goes, because the rally that we saw on Friday was good, but you'll want to see a bit of a follow-up either today or tomorrow and continue to defend last week's lows. Back to you.
Okay, all right. Thank you guys for joining us and prepping us up for this trading day ahead. So could be a down day. That's what the gift Nifty is implying right now. Time for a short break. When we return, Nifty heavyweight Reliance reported its second quarter earnings post-market hours on Friday. We'll get you all the highlights and the analysis on the other side. Stay tuned for that.